Will your gold, will your silver, will your precious metal mining stocks continue their march higher? Because the month of March was very good for silver, for gold, for the precious metal mining stocks. What are the big factors that drove the price increase during March? We're going to take a look at 3 of them, and we're going to figure out, will these factors continue to contribute to higher prices for silver, for gold, and for the precious metal mining stocks? We have some fascinating things to talk about. I'm glad you're here. Let's get started right now. What do you say we take a little trip down memory lane? Let's just go back to 4 weeks ago. Did you know the price of silver? Guess how much lower it was just 4 weeks ago. If you said 12% lower, you are correct. Silver was about $21, currently trading for $23.50 per ounce. It's even more astounding if we go back to March 8th, maybe 3 weeks ago, when silver was at $20. And again, today trades at $23.50 per ounce. Gold, not too shabby either. It's up 8% in the last 4 weeks, starting at about $18.30, ending at, right now, today, $1,975 per ounce. But the important thing we need to talk about, what drove these substantial price increases, and will these factors continue? That's where we're going to get into next. First Mining Gold is a development company advancing 2 of the largest gold projects in Canada. Springpole in Ontario and Duparquet, located in Quebec, each already has 5 million ounces of gold reserves, but exploration initiatives are underway at both projects to find even more gold. First Mining is well-financed, has 0 debt, and owns an interest in 4 additional Canadian gold development projects. This first factor might drive you a little crazy, like it drives me crazy. I'm going to call it FWW, the financial woes of the West. And these are mostly self-inflicted wounds. We had the mini bank crisis that unfolded over the last 2 or 3 weeks. We know all about that. It is crazy. But what about the fact that the economy in general, the monetary system, the financial system in the West, feels like it's being held together by bubblegum and duct tape? I mean, the bubblegum and duct tape factories in America are running at full speed. We have the massive amount of national debt. We have all the other debts that have been wrapped up in this country, consumer, credit, student, you name it. We've got a government that continues to run crazy deficits. And then we have this debt ceiling that we're going to be running into this summer that could throw another huge wrench into the financial system. And to top it all off, we have a Fed that's basically been neutered in their fight on inflation. Things are getting wonky and weird in the Western financial system, and gold and silver are recognizing that, and that factor, that wonkiness, is providing good support to the price of the precious metals. And while that may drive us crazy, the next factor can make us very scared, and that is geopolitical turmoil in the world. We have real war going on right now between the West and the East. We also have economic war going on. We also have this new phenomena that's even being mentioned by the Children News Network, that would be CNN, and Fox, which is de-dollarization. The world is moving away from the US dollar. And the reasons why are many, but people around the world are banding together in unison, right, to kind of move against the US dollar. We have the BRICS countries, and we have all the other countries that want to join BRICS. We're hearing about even Mexico, our neighbor to the south, here in the United States of America, talking about joining the BRICS network. We have in the Middle East, those countries, right? Saudi Arabia and Iran. And I mean, it's just crazy that these countries that in the past have been sworn enemies are now all coming together to try to develop a system outside of the US dollar. Geopolitical turmoil, I think, is the most underestimated risk factor right now for the US economy and could be a huge, huge tailwind supportive factor for the price of silver and gold as we move into the coming months, quarters, years, possibly even decades. $50 silver is awesome. But do you know what's even more awesome? The fact that you, I'm talking to you, it's me and you right now. You right now decided to join me here in the basement from wherever in the world you are. That's a big honor for me. I respect your time, and I want to let you know I appreciate you coming here. I hope you find some camaraderie, maybe some entertainment, even education. Please consider subscribing. That's free. Now let's get back to the video. Maybe you're around my age. Let's just say low 50s. Do you remember the 70s and 80s? It was a great time, right? Ronald Reagan, the space shuttle, parachute pants, all kinds of really fun, interesting things. But there was something else going on when you were much younger during that period. It was called stagflation. Okay, a period of time when there was a stagnant economy, but inflation was raging. And that's the third factor that can provide huge support for the price of silver, for the price of gold. Stagflation. And I will argue, I will beat the table, I'll even ring the coffee bell until we wake up to the fact that we are very likely heading into a stagflationary period, and that could be rocket fuel for the price of silver and gold. The Fed has been neutered. We already talked about that earlier, right? There are inflationary pressures that are beyond the tools, the weapons that the Fed can use. Sure, they can use monetary policy under some conditions to control inflation, but we have massive geopolitical risk. We also have a much different financial situation in the United States, in the world, than we had during the 70s and 80s when they were able to successfully fight stagflation. We've got multiple times more debt in the world, and I'll repeat it for the third time, a geopolitical situation like the world has not seen for hundreds of years. A possibility of the petrodollar going away. Everybody's talking about de-dollarization. When the mainstream media is talking about it, guys, it's real. De-dollarization is extremely inflationary for the United States. And we know the economy is putting the brakes on quickly. All that crazy record pace of interest rate hikes by the Fed, those have a lagging effect that we are just now beginning to feel. So as we head into the next 6 months, things can get very interesting here in the United States for the stock market, for the bond market, even for the real estate market. But you know what does well during stagflation, during times of high uncertainty? You know, imagine yourself going to a restaurant and you open the menu and it says gold, silver, stocks, bonds, real estate. There's a whole menu, right? Well, that menu, right? The variety, the selection of attractive options during these periods of stagflation, it shrinks and shrinks until the waiter comes to you and says, the best thing we have right now is silver and gold. And you know what? That's been one of our best sellers for the last 5,000 years. It's been a reliable item. It's helped people maintain their wealth, helped people protect themselves during times of uncertainty, and it's going to do it again right now. Thanks for being with me. I'll see you next time.